Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I will solve some numericals based on first law of thermodynamics, and those numericals are from the book of Pekenax Engineering Thermodynamics. And prior to that, I will discuss briefly about specific heat at constant volume, that is Cb, and specific heat at constant pressure, Cp, because those numericals are also related to those to the concepts of Cp and Cb. And before starting, I must say one thing to all of you: please do subscribe to this channel, of course like it, and share it to your friends. So first we must discuss what is specific heat at constant volume, that is Cb, small cb. I have already discussed in my previous lecture that what is specific heat, how to define specific heat. Specific heat can be defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of substance through unit amount. It may be the temperature change may be 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin or 1 Fahrenheit. एक यूनिट मास सब्सटेंस को 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस या 1 केल्विन के लिए टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने के लिए जितना हीट चाहिए उसको हम बोलते हैं स्पेसिफिक हीट. But mathematically we can define specific heat like this also. Specific heat at a constant volume Cb can be defined as the rate of change of specific internal energy with respect to absolute temperature when the volume is constant. This V denotes, subscript V denotes that the process takes place at constant volume. So it can be defined as defined like this: the rate of change of specific internal energy with respect to temperature when volume is constant. So specific internal energy, small u, means its unit would be kilojoule per kg or joule per kg. And if this is the absolute temperature, then unit of Cb will be maybe expressed as kilojoule per kg Kelvin or kilojoule per kg degree Celsius, or I can express like this also: joule per kg Kelvin, whatever you want to write, or joule per kg degree Celsius. So that is rate of change of specific internal energy. Specific internal energy is nothing but the internal energy, total internal energy divided by mass. This is specific internal energy. So what we can write is, I can write like this: dou u equal to Cv, small cv, this is Cv dt. And total change in specific internal energy during the process is Cb dt, and integration limit is from T1 to T2. This is how I can write. This delta U V stands for total change in specific internal energy during the process which takes place at constant volume. That means when heat is added to a system system of unit mass, and the volume of the system also remains constant during the process, then change in specific internal energy will be like this. But the first law equation for a closed stationary system, we know that first law equation for a closed stationary system of unit mass is like this. Differential form is like this: dq is equal to du plus dw. This is specific internal energy, since the unit mass is unit. So if there is no other work present other than the PdV work, then this equation can be written like this, because there is no other work than PdV work. So now the equation is dq is equal to du plus PdV. Since the process takes place at constant volume, then I can write like this is equal to du. Since volume is constant, the dV term would be 0 and this PdV would also be 0. So now the equation is dQ for a constant volume process is equal to du. On integrating, this becomes Q of the heat added to the system during a constant volume process is nothing but equal to delta U V, and that is equal to Cv dt. That I can write. So heat added to a system during a constant volume process is equal, just heat added to a system, what results when heat is added to a system at constant during a constant volume process, only there is an increase in specific internal energy, and that is equal to integral of Cv dt, and the integration limit is from temperature T1 to T2. This is small Cv, and suppose this is applicable for a closed system and stationary system. Of course, the mass is unit. Suppose the mass of the system is m. Mass of the system is m. So what this equation would be? Q would be mCv dt. mCv dt. Temperature limit is from T1 to T2. So product of mass and specific heat at constant volume, that is m multiplied by small cv, is known as capital Cv. Capital Cv, where capital Cv is known as heat capacity at constant volume. Constant volume. Product of mass and small cv, this is specific heat at constant volume, and when multiplied with mass, it results in a capital Cv, which is nothing but the heat capacity at constant volume, and its unit is kilojoule per Kelvin or kilojoule per degree Celsius, or I can write joule per Kelvin or joule per degree Celsius. There is no problem in it. So this is product of mass and specific heat is known as heat capacity. So that is capital Cv is heat capacity at constant volume. So now I can write the equation QV is equal to MC. In place of mCv, I can write capital Cv dt. Limit is from del T1 to T2. So heat added to a system can be written like this. During the constant volume process, it is nothing but the integral of capital Cv dt, and integration limit is from temperature T1 to T2, where capital Cv denotes the product of mass and specific heat at constant volume small cv, and this is heat capacity at constant volume. This equation can be used for a process that takes place at constant volume process, and this is also equal to change in total internal energy of the system also. This is capital U, not small u. This can be equal to change in total internal energy of the system during that constant volume process. This subscript denotes that the process takes place at constant volume. So when heat is added to a system during constant volume process, it increases only the internal energy of the system. Similarly, Cp can also be defined as Cp, specific heat at constant pressure, can be defined as Cp is equal to dou H upon dou T when pressure is held constant. When the pressure is constant, Cp can be written as dou H upon dou Tp, and its unit will be same as Cv, that is kilojoule per kg Kelvin or joule per kg Kelvin or kilojoule per kg degree Celsius, just like it was in case of Cv. So the first law equation for a closed stationary system, as I discussed, differential form of first law equation for a closed stationary system composed of unit mass is dq is equal to du plus dw. If there is no other work present than the PdV work, then this equation would be like this. But we know that H is equal to specific enthalpy, suppose, is equal to U plus PV. This is specific enthalpy and its unit is kilojoule per kg. Capital H divided by M. This is total enthalpy, this is mass. When total enthalpy is divided by mass, it yields the specific enthalpy, and its unit is kilojoule per kg. H equal to U plus PV. So if you differentiate this, this would be du plus d of PV, which is equal to du plus PdV plus VdP. So this is, in place of du plus PdV, I can write, this is, suppose this equation 1, this is equation 2. From equation 1 and 2, you see du plus PdV is nothing but equal to dq. So I can write dH is equal to, in place of du plus PdV, I can write dq plus VdP. So dH equal to dq plus VdP. Or I can write dq equal to dH minus VdP. And for you see, for a constant pressure process, this subscript denotes that the process takes place at constant pressure. So for a constant pressure process, this term will be 0 because dP is 0 when P is equal to constant. So dqP becomes dH. dq when the when the process takes place at constant pressure is equal to dH. And you see, from this equation, dH is nothing but Cp dt. So this is equal to Cp dt, small Cp dt, and limit this is, suppose dqP is nothing but is equal to dH, and this is equal to Cp dt. On integrating, we can find that Qp, heat added to a system during constant pressure process, is equal to Cp dt if the mass of the substance is unit. For a unit mass of substance, this is the equation. Heat addition to the system during a constant pressure process increases just the enthalpy, specific enthalpy of the system, and it is equal to integral of Cp dt, and temperature integration limit is from temperature T1 to T2. Suppose mass of the system is m. Mass of the system is m. Then the equation will be like this: mCp dt, and temperature integration limit is from T1 to T2. And in place of mCp, I can write capital Cp dt, where this capital Cp is heat capacity at constant pressure, just like it was in the case of capital Cv. So capital Cp is heat capacity at constant pressure. Its unit will be kilojoule per Kelvin or joule per Kelvin, because mass, unit of mass is kg, and unit of small Cp is kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So on multiplying, this is kilojoule per Kelvin or joule per Kelvin. So heat added to a system during a constant pressure process, Qp can be written as, this is dqP equal to dH. So I can write Qp is equal to delta H during a constant pressure process. So Qp is nothing but delta HP. Delta HP is equal to integral of capital Cp dt, limit is from T1 to T2, or I can write mass into small Cp dt, integration limit is from T1 to T2. So heat added to the closed system during a constant pressure process increases only this is total enthalpy. So this is capital Cp. If the mass of the system is m, then capital Cp is nothing but equal to product of mass and small Cp. So heat added to a system during a constant pressure process increases the total enthalpy of the system only, and heat added to a system during a constant volume process increases the internal energy only. So this is a problem from Pekenax Engineering Thermodynamics. The properties of substance, the properties of a certain fluid, the properties of a certain fluid are related as follows: U equal to 196 plus 0.718 small t, Pb is equal to 0.287 multiplied by T plus 273, where U is the specific, small u is the specific internal energy, kilojoule per kg, and T is in degree Celsius, P is pressure in expressed in terms of kilopascal or kilonewton per meter square, and small b is specific volume, whose unit is meter cube per kg. For this fluid, find small cb and small cp. We have to find out just applying the equation that we discussed right now, that using the definition of cb and cp. So we can find out cb, that is dou u by dou t when volume is held constant, and this T is in terms of absolute temperature, but this small t here in the question it is given is in terms of degree Celsius. So that is equal to U is equal to, first U is given to be 196 plus 0.718 T. So I can write like this, 196 plus 0.718 T minus 273. We know that T degree Celsius is nothing but T plus 273 Kelvin, that is T Kelvin. So T is equal to, suppose T degree Celsius would correspond to T Kelvin, capital T Kelvin, where numerical value of T will be T plus 273. Suppose 30 degrees Celsius will be equivalent to 30 plus 273, that is 303 Kelvin. So that's why if we want to express this in terms of absolute temperature, we can write like this, T minus 273. Since T degree Celsius is equal to T plus 273 Kelvin. Suppose, so in terms of absolute temperature, it will be like this. So this should be, so if you differentiate this, d dou u by dou t, this would be Cb equal to dou u by dou t when volume is held constant. So we will differentiate, partially differentiate this with respect to capital T. So on differentiating, this becomes T minus 273. This equal to 196 plus 0.718 T minus 0.718 multiplied by 273. On differentiating, you see there is no, these three terms, this is one term, this is one term, and this is one term. Out of these three terms, only this term involves T. So if you differentiate these two terms with respect to capital T, they would be 0. So only this term will have some value, that will be equal to 0.718, and its unit will be kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Since the specific internal energy, unit of specific internal energy is kilojoule per kg, and the unit of temperature is Kelvin, so that will be 0.718 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Similarly, if you want to calculate Cp, you know that Cp is equal to dou H divided by dou T when the pressure is constant. So first we must find out what is H. H is equal to, you know that U plus Pb. In place of U, I will write this 0.718 T plus, in place of Pb, this is given, Pb is given to be 0.287 multiplied by T plus 273, then 0.287 multiplied by T plus 273. If you add all these values, this will come out as 196 plus 0.718 T plus 0.287 T plus 0.287 into 273, and this would be, this on being added, it is 1.005 T plus 196 plus 0.287 multiplied by 273. So this I can write in place of small t, I can write 1.005 t minus 273. In place of small t I can write capital T minus small t. In place of small t I can write capital T minus 273. And you see rest of the terms do not involve any t term. So on differentiating, these terms will result 0, because any constant when differentiated with respect to any variable yields the result 0. So 1.005 t minus 273 and plus whatever terms are there will yield is equal to, result will be 1.005 t minus 0.014. So on differentiating, Cp is equal to dou H upon dou T. The pressure is held constant. So obviously this would be 1.005. So its unit will be kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So Cp is this much and Cb was calculated earlier. So next problem is like this. The heat capacity at constant volume, heat capacity at constant pressure of a certain system is a function of temperature only and may be expressed as capital Cp. This is 2.093 plus 41.87 divided by T plus 100, and small t is in terms of degree Celsius, and this is a product of mass and small Cp. That's why this is capital Cp, heat capacity, and pressure remains constant at 1 atmosphere until its volume increases from 2000 centimeter cube to 2400 cc. So volume of the system increases from 2000 centimeter cube to 2400 centimeter cube, and its temperature increases from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. So first we have to find out the magnitude of the heat interaction, and second is how much does the internal energy of the system increase. So first thing we have to find out the magnitude of heat interaction, and you see the process takes place at constant pressure. So that's why we can find out that's why we can calculate the heat transfer required by using the equation, this equation. Q for a constant pressure process is nothing but mCp, small cp dt, just what we discussed just before this. So this is equal to, in place of mCp I can write capital Cp, where Cp is the heat capacity at constant pressure T1 to T2. So this is equal to, Cp is given to be this one, 2.093. Of course the unit is in terms of joule, not kilojoule. 41.87 divided by T plus 100 dt. But first we have to convert this T in terms of convert this into absolute temperature only, then only we can integrate. You see T1 is from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. In terms of absolute temperature, this would be 273. 0 degree Celsius would correspond to 273 Kelvin, and 100 degree Celsius would correspond to 373 Kelvin, because 0 degree Celsius is equal to 0 plus 273 Kelvin, and 100 degree Celsius would be 100 plus 273, 373 Kelvin. On integrating this will be 2.093 dt का इंटीग्रल होगा t. So t and limit is from 273 to 373 plus 41.87 being a constant can be taken outside, dt upon t plus 100 and this is limit is from 273 to 373. So this would be 2.093 373 minus 273 plus 41.87 integral of dt. In place of t I can write t minus 273 plus 100. That would be, and the limit is from 273 to 373. This is 2.093. This 373 minus 273 is 100 plus 41.87 dt divided by t minus 173. Minus 273 plus 100, that is t minus 173. That is equal to 209.3. This is joule because Cp is in terms of joule per degree Celsius. It is same. If you express this in terms of Kelvin, this same numerical value will remain same because the specific heat of air is 1.005 Cp, suppose kilojoule per kg Kelvin. In terms of degree Celsius, this value will remain same. Kilojoule per 1.005 kilojoule per kg degree Celsius will be the value. So this is joule. This is in terms of joule because the Cp is in terms of joule only. So this is 209.3 plus 41.87 dt upon t will be ln t. Ln t minus 173. 273 to 373. So that is equal to 209.3 joule plus 41.87 ln. In place of t I will write 373 minus 173 minus ln 273 minus 173. So this will be 209.3 plus 41.87 ln 200 minus ln 100. So this is equal to 209.3 plus 41.87 ln 200 ln b minus ln a is equal to ln b by a is equal to 209.3. This is joule. Again this is also in terms of joule. So plus 41.87 ln 2 joule. This is equal to 238.32 joule. So this is for first bit, find the magnitude of the heat interaction. But second bit is how much does the internal energy of the system increase. That we have to find out. We know that the equation is Q is equal to delta U plus W. So Q12 is equal to delta U plus W12. So once we can calculate the W12, heat added has been calculated, heat transfer has been calculated, and it is found to be 238.32 joule. And if you can calculate what is the work transfer during that process, then we can easily find out the change in internal energy. So delta U has been asked to find out is equal to Q12 minus W12. You see, W12 during a constant pressure process, because the pressure takes place at a constant, the process takes place at constant pressure. So work done during a constant pressure process is integral of P dV, and pressure being constant, this can be written like this. So this will be V2 minus V1. and the pressure is constant at atmospheric pressure, which is 1.01325 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal, means Newton per meter square, into volume is, change in volume is from 400 to 2400 centimeter cube. So you have to express it in terms of meter cube. This is centimeter cube. 1 meter cube is equal to 10 to the power 6 centimeter cube. So 1 centimeter cube will be 10 to the power minus 6 meter cube. So we have to express this. This is already in the terms of centimeter cube. So multiply by this by 10 to the power minus 6 meter cube. This is Newton per meter square. This is meter cube. So this becomes 1.01325 10 to the power 5. This is 10 to the power minus 6. So this becomes 10 to the power minus 1 into 2400 minus 2000, that is 400. This is in terms of Newton per meter square. This is meter cube. On multiplying, this becomes 1.01325 into 400 into 10 to the minus 1, means this is 40. So 40 joule. This becomes 40.53 joule. So delta U, change in internal energy, will be Q12 has already been calculated to be 238. This is this equation. Q12 has already been calculated 238.32 joule minus W12 we just calculated 40.53 joule. This will come out 197.79 joule. This is the change in internal energy of the system during the process.